Hello, hello. Well, the sun is shining, as you can see. The birds are singing and life is good. So, for our fast English lesson today, we're going to do prepositions. Now, prepositions are something that a lot of students find very difficult at all levels. So, the plan is to introduce the basic prepositions, and then as we go on through this course, you will learn more and more. But if we start with the basics, then if you learn them, it'll be a great grounding as it gets harder as these go along. But to begin with, we're going to do prepositions of place and prepositions of time. Now, they're not too bad, these ones. So let me get into this. So we have prepositions one, in, at, in, on, and to. So prepositions of time. We'll start with prepositions of time. I'm going to give you some exercises to do with them. And then afterwards, we will do prepositions of movement and position. So let's look at in, on, and at. So the first one, we have in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, and also in summer. Now, we use in for parts of the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and seasons, in the summer, in the autumn, in the winter, in the spring. You have on, so on Monday and on Tuesday evening. So we use on for days. And the last, we have at 3 o'clock, at midday, at midnight, at lunchtime, at night, at the weekend, and at Christmas, like Christmas season, Christmas time. So we use at for times of the day, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3, and so on. You also have at night. Now, it's a little bit curious because it's in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but at night. And that's just the way it is with prepositions. There's exceptions, and at night, in this case, is an exception. We also say at the weekend and festivals, Christmas festival, Easter festival, at Christmas, at Easter time. Now, other uses of in and on. We also use in with months and years. So my birthday is in March. And all of this. Liverpool won the league, or last won the league, in 1990. Or maybe they will win it in 2020 if this coronavirus ever finishes. So for years you use in, and for months as well. Now, we use on with dates. So on the 1st of January. So my birthday is on the 18th of March, specific date. But if I'm just using the month and not the date, I would say my birthday is in March. So it's on the 18th of March, but in March. Okay, so having that covered, let's have a look at these exercises. So complete using in, on, or at, and I will give you 1 minute. So press pause, try the exercises, and come back to me. Cool. All right, so day, evening. Now, morning, afternoon, evening. Parts of a day, we're going to use in. There she is, in. Now, January, specific month. Just a month, not a date. Just a month. So it's in January. The summer, a season. So what do we use for seasons? We use in again. Now, 22nd of September. In this case, a date. So for days and dates, it's going to be on the 22nd of September. Night, now remember, it was in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but at night. And then 7:30 is a time. So we use at for times, at 7:30. So the only way to learn these is to study them. Study, 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 and then they will become clearer. And then to make some personal examples in your own lifestyle. So I start school at 9 o'clock. My birthday is on bam, bam, bam. And if you can think of personal examples, it's a lot easier to get these. You can automatically have them in your head. Now, that's prepositions of time. And now we move on to prepositions of movement and place. So, he goes to work at 8. He has lunch at work. And 3, he works in an office. So let's begin with the first. He goes to work at 8. We use to for movement or direction. So movement, okay? She goes to the gym. Not she goes at the gym. So think of to as the arrow coming across here. So to, movement from one place to another. And it's usually with go as well. Now, so I go to the gym. I go to the cinema. I go to the shop. I go to Tesco. I go to McDonald's. All of this, there's movement involved, so it's to. But we don't use to before home. This is one exception, and it's very, very common mistake to make. So we don't say I go to home. So imagine you put to into the past. So yesterday I went to home at 7. No. It's simply yesterday I went home at 7. So that's an exception. With home, you don't use go to home. It's simply go home. Everything else is to. Now, the second, he has lunch at work. So we use at and in for position. So, okay, look at this. We use at work, at home, at school, and at university. We use in for other places like a flat, an office, a room, etc. You can use in or at with some public places like a restaurant, the cinema, etc. So on Saturdays, he has lunch in a restaurant or at a restaurant. You can use in or at. To make it easier for you, I would say at this level, just use at for work, home, school, and university. And for the rest, just use in. And that's just to keep it easier in your mind so that there's less stress when you're thinking about these things. Now, for a public place, you can use in or at, but just to keep it simple, use at with home, school, work, and university. And if you do that, you use in with everything else, and it becomes a little bit easier. But whatever way is best for you, that's just a tip. So, to, movement. Go to the library. But one exception, go home, not go to home. And then you have at school, at home, at university, and at work. And then the rest is going to be in. Now, complete these with to, at, in, or nothing at all. Take 1 minute like before and get back to me. Okay. Sorry, John's not here. He's work. You remember work? It's at work. Number 2, it's a lovely day. Let's go. Yep. Let's go to the beach because we're talking of movement from where we are to the beach, where that is. My brother studies maths, and remember, it's the same principle. It's at work. Or at university, sorry, not at work, at university. I'm sorry, guys, but I love you. The next is number 4. What time do you go? Remember, that's the exception. So, nothing. What time do you go home? We live a flat. So, we live in a flat. And then it's Monday. The children are school. Remember, guys, it's at school. Okay. So that's it. That's essentially what we've covered today. So with prepositions of time and also of movement and position, just study the rules. Think of some personal examples. And the best way to learn prepositions is just to think of personal examples that you can learn, study, and then just get into your head like this. Okay, so example, I start class at 9 o'clock in the morning, or I finish work at 5. And then if you're ever thinking 5 o'clock, at, like this, or I work in an office, or so yesterday we were in the cinema. So if you can think of your personal example, it makes it a little bit easier going forward. So for the ones that you find difficult, write some personal examples and just get them into your brain. So read them, study them, reread them, and relearn them. And that should do. Okay. And it's just a start. So prepositions can be hard, but learn them as you go along. Relax and just accept them because they'll be part of learning. So that's all. Have a lovely day, guys. Sending you hugs, peace, and love. Okay. Bye bye.